Good evening. Welcome to the Alan Osborne Show. It's a Friday evening. We've had lots going on. There's been a couple meetings this week, and we're going to cover the BCC meeting and the Miramar Beach meeting today. And, I would tell you this week in some other news, I learned recently, in the past couple months, there may have been a death at the county jail. I don't know. I don't know what happened. We're trying to find out. But I hope we didn't find nobody down there in the county jail, go down there and find somebody, find them swinging. I don't know. Maybe we'll have to ask Mike. Mike, did something happen at the county jail? I don't know. Maybe we should look into some things. We still don't have some answers. We're going to go that in a different show, but we'll take a quick break here for a second and just take a little musical break. Then we'll move on to business. Let's take a little musical break. How about it, Mike? Come on, Mikey, sing with me.
Shaking off his little hose if he lost his position, and everyone would know there'd be less swinging. There might be less swinging. Well, Corey's as connected as a shitbag can be, but the truth about the county's about to be shook out of the tree, and at least they're swinging.
Come on, Scott, play that kazoo. Yeah. Jamming at the county. Play that kazoo. All right. Yeah.
Prisoner swinging.
Prisoner swinging.
And staff was swinging. Yeah, I heard he's swinging, and saving his employees. I can't believe he's out there on the porch just in a swing. Now Corey blows the sheriff in his own sick kind of way. When Corey had a dead guy, the sheriff made it go away. Now Corey and his wife were the apple of my eye. If you ride a swing with him, you surely must be high, and you are swinging. And you'd be swinging. Or Mike and Corey lovers in a weird kind of way. We'll all hear the rumors, ain't the prisoners that just swing, and it was swinging. Well, Corey is connected as a shitbag can be, but the truth about the county's about to shake out of the trees, just a swinging.
Well, damn, I love that country music break. Yeah, I heard somebody, I hope they didn't find that person swinging in the jail cell. Anyway, we'll find out what happened up there. Anyway, at the county, sorry, Tony, there you are. Anyway, at the county meeting this week, it was a total joke. Even the commissioner, Gladwell wanted it to end so bad, I thought I was going to freaking die. So did Barker. It just would not end because nobody wanted to take Clay's advice. And I really hate to say this because I hate saying this because I can't stand Clay. And surely, Dana Matthews, I hate your guts. But both Dana Matthews and Clay were right. But the commissioners made the whole issue over the beach vendors personal. In fact, the commissioners wanted to argue with the interim county attorney that they didn't have to follow a policy, which is pretty standard in Walton County. All Clay was saying is, look, it's your own policy that you'll advertise it. But there's so much business done behind county doors and before the meetings that all the commissioners, pretty much, Boots and Mike and Danny and Tony, they were like, we're not taking a single visitor, but they hadn't put an RFQ out. They didn't request for bids, or proposals, RFPs. They have no idea what's going to be submitted. And they just didn't want to go through the system because they knew all these other people. And suddenly people's names with mortgages became a factor in whether the county was going to follow a policy. Not whether they were right or wrong, not whether it was legal or illegal, or whether Clay's advice was bad, and it wasn't. Yeah, I hate saying that, but it's true. He was telling them, follow your own policy. You vote however you want. They made it clear that they didn't care what the policy was. They were going to vote the hell the way they wanted to, even if it was unfair, basically. They were mad they had a policy that made them do it fair, that might be better for the taxpayers. The real stink for me is that Tony, Mike, Danny, Boots, I'm not sure if Trey said anything, honestly, but honestly, or dishonestly, none of them had a clue, but were certain of what somebody might propose, and they didn't want it. Hadn't seen it. There hadn't been an advertisement for proposals. And Dana Matthews came up there dumbfounded because he was getting bent over and greased in the hiney like he does to the rest of us. And he's just like, you mean they're not going to follow policy? Hell yeah, Dana, they ain't going to follow it. You know why? Just like they don't follow the Sandestin rules. And we'll get to that later. So we spent 90 minutes of a BCC meeting arguing over whether we're going to follow policy. You'd think when Danny Glywell brought up that it was policy and clarified it, because Clay was trying to hint like hell. And then there was the note passing and the cheerleading going on. Dee Dee or somebody's up there passing notes. Larry sounds like he's about to die, but they ain't going to fire him because he got all the skeletons in the closet. Hey, Larry, shout out to you. There you are, sounded like hell, hanging on to that thing, hoping to God to cover it all up. So I quit watching after the first 90 minutes of that because it was such an explosion of fecal matter through a wind turbine that anybody there had it all over. If you were at the meeting, people were probably frustrated as hell that one item that was pulled off the consent, and it should have been, was discussed like that. It should have been advertised. I'm sorry, if you have a policy that could save the taxpayers $2 million, it doesn't matter whose mortgage it is unless the law says that's a reason. This county cannot read a law and just follow it without asking the question, who's financing it, who's related to it, who lives there, and are they politically or financially connected? If those questions have not been answered, as the good sheriff said in one of his meetings, pretty much, and I've shown it to you, there's only about 20 families in Walton County, and that's why his family, parents might be cousins. Probably are, I think is what he said. So, this is a 90-minute demonstration in elected officials in America who can't read the law and follow of it. And the three in the middle here, Boots, Danny, and Mike are cops. Maybe Trey and Tony have an excuse. Maybe intelligence is limited by height. I don't know, up there on the BCC. But I'm going to tell you, I just laughed at the self-destruct mode that they were in, killing each other over Boots just wanted it to end. He just wanted it to end. God almighty. And so then after that, we got into the planning meeting and what they're going to fix in Miramar Beach. And guess what? Everybody but Barker showed up to that. Now, Tony, Danny, and go watch the video on the other channel. Somebody even posted one they shot from behind me. They let the public get up and say whatever they want. So after everybody had rambled, I stand up and say, here's what the problem is. Y'all can't tell the truth. And at the very end of that, there's a video on one of the sites. Go watch it. I cornered Trey Nick about the Sandestin being in violation. Not one every engineer but the dirtiest one, Because Chance, you and Charlie are freaking worthless, useless liars. And I hope your family know what scumbags you are, because you just sat there and admitted that you lied. You didn't have one defense. Not one person stood up for you because they knew you lied too. Just worthless fucking, look, the engineering section is a rehash of Preble, Rich, Newberry, and every other person that's bought out. What was it now? Atkins or somebody? Who knows? You can't keep up with, but all those engineers work for the same people, and they're in bed like this. All right. That's how they're all in bed over this crap. So the whole issue was who it was. Who's involved? We just can't follow the rules. And in America, it depends on what group you're in. And isn't that systemic of what's wrong in America? Everybody's put into the group, and if they ain't in your group, they don't count. We just want some fair treatment. But Trey Nick, at the end of that meeting of me speaking, admitted that I wasn't wrong in Sandestin. It was in violation. We asked him what he was going to do about it. He said, work on it. And he laughed at all of us. Now, all those people in there are directly responsible for the largest pollution source going into the bay, because there's a law. There's a law about this stuff. Imagine that. A law. Excuse me. That's the wrong one. It says that the county will not issue permits when somebody's in substantial non-compliance. And I told them they were in substantial non-compliance. And Trey's answer was, we know it's a problem. You ain't wrong. Well, if I'm not wrong there, Mr. Treybo, God shave that thing off the top of your head you had the other night. You ain't got enough hair for that. If I'm not wrong there, Trey, and y'all can't produce any information, what gives you the right just not to follow the law and issue permits and tell banks it's in compliance? I don't get it on the Alan Osborne show. And I wish, I mean, they just wanted me to leave the other night. After they'd already let everybody else speak as long as they want, I let Trey cut me off because it was fair. I got like 12, 14 minutes, more than I've ever got. And they just wanted it to end, but it didn't, because I'm right back here, just a swinging with you guys. Just a swinging. Can't get Boots' text, but I'm a swinging. Anyway, it's Friday night out there in Alan Osborne land, and we got some stuff to go over the sheriff and Corey, and we're still waiting to see Corey Godwin's DD 214, but I'll cover that in another show. If it's Mike's never been in the military, but he wants to explain what Corey's documents say to us, just show them to us, Mike. There ain't no, if there must be something to hide if you don't want to post them. Look, just blot out the social security number and maybe his address, and there shouldn't be anything else for you to hide. I don't know. I mean, I hope there's nothing attached to the bottom of that there, Mike, of that 214. But anyway, and Mike, if you would, could you tell us, was there some deaths in the jail over the last few months? And were they investigated by the FDLE? Or did you want to investigate them so the FDLE won't find out that during that death, you had a director of the jail that probably wasn't qualified at anything or current? You think that's a contributing factor, Mike? I don't know. These things just swing back and forth in my head. That's what's going on with the Alan Osborne show. Y'all tune in with me soon and stay up with me on YouTube and the other feeds, and maybe we'll fix this ship and write it up. But it won't be with these jokers, because remember what Danny Gladwell said 4 years ago? If I don't do what I promised, you should put me out of this office. Well, Danny Gladwell is helping pollute the bay. He's not enforcing the laws. And I think we need to put you out of office, Danny, because you just couldn't keep your word, could you? Y'all can't hold your staff accountable, and they've all got y'all pinned up against the wall, and you still, this guy right here sounds like he's about to fall over dead. And I'm sure that's what he's going to do to the last minute to make sure we can't indict him if he's dead. Who knows? That's what it is on the Alan Osborne show. You know, I miss y'all out there. Looking for some musical accompaniment? Call him. He was probably hiding in the back room when I was speaking the other day, because that's what he does. Like a little privileged family member back there doing it all. Anyway, that's where we're at on the Alan Osborne show. I'll see you out there soon. You hear? Keep 'em